G'day, welcome to Oly35mm, user-based, quasi-empirical, cheap and cheerful videos on Olympus 35mm cameras. Now today I need to issue a warning to all of those Olympus purists out there who may have weak stomachs. Please turn away now, do not go any further. I'm only taking the mickey from there. Today I'm going to share with you the Olympus OM-2000, and there's a lot of talk out there on the internet about the Olympus 2000 because it was actually built by the Cosina company in 1997 for Olympus. Olympus obviously decided that things were starting to wind down with their 35mm stuff. They didn't want to design a new camera. The OM1 was getting very long in the tooth, and they needed an entry-level camera, and the OM-2000 is that. Now, I fully understand people who don't want to have anything to do with it. It is not a system camera. It only takes Olympus lenses, OM mount lenses. It doesn't have TDL flash. In fact, it has its own little S20 flash that comes with it. You can actually use the other Olympus flashes if you wish, but you can only use them in the auto and manual setting. So the Cosina built lenses aren't as good as the Zuiko, but I would like to share with you my thoughts on this particular camera because I have to be honest with you, I really like it. It's a great little camera. So let me get rid of these for the moment. 1997, as I said, the Olympus OM-2000 came out, and in fact a similar chassis to this is actually still being marketed by Nikon, the FM10, which is built by Cosina, and you'll actually find on the websites in 2015. Canon also made some, Cosina also made some for Canon, and I believe that some of the Voigtlander Besses are actually made by Cosina as well, and were built around some of the parts that are actually found in this camera. Whether that's true or not, I don't really know, but that's certainly what I've read. Okay, without any further ado, let's talk a little bit about the OM-2000. I did say it's not a system camera, and it's not. It doesn't have a removable back. It doesn't have removable finders. It won't take any of the motor drive accessories or all of the auto wind accessories. The only accessories that it will take is the OM mount lenses and the single AF model, if you wish. The vary magnifier, which goes on the back, and also the eye cups and the diopters. So anything outside of that, and you can't basically put it on from the Olympus system. Definitely entry level. In fact, even today, I think it would be a fantastic student camera. It's very light. The body with the film is about 450 grams. This little 35 to 70 f3.5 to f4.8 lens is less than 200 grams. The 70 to 210 that came with it is about 350 grams, and the little flash with batteries is about 120 grams, 2 AA size batteries. So, you know, you're walking around with a very light kit that runs from 35mm through 210mm, if indeed you want one. Fully recommend it for those who are starting out in photography. It's very nice in the hand. It's very comfortable to use. I've run about 3 films through it now, and I really like it. It's got some marvelous features on it. It has a shutter speeds from 1 second through to 2,000th of a second, with a flash synchronization speed of 125th of a second, which is very nice. In the viewfinder, when you adjust the aperture and the shutter speed, you will have visual indications of where you need to move your exposure to. You have one red LED, my apologies. You have one green LED, which is just a little circle, which lights up when you have correct exposure. there is a red LED with a plus, and if those two light up together, you means you're anything up to a stop overexposed. If just the red cross lights up, you're then more than a stop overexposed. Exactly the same in the underexposure, except for it's a minus, a red minus, and there is also a little orange dot underneath that. Why the orange dot, you ask? Well, this little camera, entry level here, this little camera actually has spot metering, single spot metering as well. So really quite amazing. But it doesn't finish there. It also has multiple exposure as well. So you're really talking about quite a creative little tool. Some great design functions with this little camera. So what do I like about it? I like it that it's light. The lenses, although they're not Zuiko lenses, although it does say Zuiko on the front, it is Zuiko branded, but they're actually not made by Olympus. The lenses are actually quite sharp, quite nice little lenses to use. A little bit slow, but then, you know, it's a standard sort of zoom of the time. They are easy to use. Two ring operation for the 35 to 70, and a push-pull zoom in the 70 to 210. This has a close focusing distance of probably about 700 mil or somewhere thereabout. So it has the, if I can find it for you, the minimum focus supposedly of 1.5 meters, but then a close focus setting of 700 mil, and it works all the way between the two. So why it's even there, I'm not so sure. Why they just didn't put 700 mil or 800 mil or whatever it is on there, I don't know. The 35 to 70 is even better. The close focus function on the 35 to 70 is probably at 35, 40 centimeters, somewhere thereabouts. So it's very, very versatile. You also have a self-timer. With it, you have a shutter lock, and you can't actually take a photograph unless you actually have the lever sticking out, which is not much good for me because I'm a left eye shooter, and I find it actually gets in my way. I found with this camera I have to make myself a right eye shooter with it to be able to use it properly, and it feels a little bit foreign to me. But if you're a right eye shooter, it's not a problem at all. If you're a left eye shooter like me, you can actually pull it apart and you can actually get rid of that lock there if you want. So can be considered a bit of a pain. It is to me, but in some other cases it's actually really, really funky. It's a really handy safety, you know, to make sure that the shutter doesn't get depressed while it's sitting in your bag or anything like that. And it's really only a minor issue as far as I'm concerned. It has an ISO range of 25 through to 3200, but with fully manual controls, of course. You know, you can, you know, just under or overexpose however you like. If you want to run it past 3200, or if you want to run it less than 25 ISO, but you'll probably find that most people will probably only use up to 3200, and probably not less than, you know, 100 these days anyway, as a guess. You also have a little film indicator window, so you know what's going on, what sort of film you've got in there. Standard rewind. It's all very, very manual, basic camera. You have a battery holder in there for two SR44 or LR44 batteries, little 1.5 batteries, and you have a tripod mount. You also have your film rewind button, which is hiding in there as well. So the S20 flash that came out with it, it has two auto settings and a manual setting as well. It has a test button. It has little indications as to what apertures you need to set manually on the lens to get correct exposure. It's not through the lens metering, or off the film metering that you're sort of used to in the OM-2s, but it works quite well, and it even actually has a little 24mm wide angle adapter to go with it as well, and a funky little strap, a funky little case which will actually sit on your camera strap. So you've got this little, if you leave the batteries out, it's only about 76 grams. You've got 76 grams just sitting on your case ready with a flash to go, although you need to put the batteries in, of course. So that's the OM-2000. Please don't be too harsh on it, those Olympus purists out there. I think it was a smart move at the time by Olympus. Sure, it's not genuine Olympus, but it has a lot of good things going for it, and is really a lot of fun to shoot. So that's your lot for today. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.